Computer, what's the definition of question?
As a noun, question is usually defined as a sentence in an interrogative form, addressed to someone in order to get information in reply. As a verb, question is usually defined as to ask someone a question, ask questions of, interrogate.
We are talking about the word question and maybe getting a few answers today on the Blind Jedi Vlogs. Welcome everyone to another Blind Jedi Vlogs. I'm Jason, aka the Blind Jedi, and today we're talking about the word question. If you're new here, please think about hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be updated every time I drop another video. And if you're not new here and you like these videos, please push that like button so we can push that message of positivity. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I want to start off by asking the question, are these videos impacting your life in any way? Question mark. I'll say it again. Are these videos impacting your life in any way? Question mark. Let me know in the comments down below. Your answers will definitely help me be informed of how these videos are being formatted and how are the topics helping you in your sight loss, in your life, depression, positivity wise, motivation, inspiration, all of the above. So it's a great way to start this vlog because honestly, I want to know. And that's the whole point of a question, right? Is getting an answer, to be informed, to help solve a problem, to help figure something out. Questions are very key for us to get the kind of information we need to be successful, to be even happy, because we might be upset about something or sad about something we don't fully understand. So asking the questions, getting the right answer could really change our mood and change our point of view of any type of situation. So questions are not just to get simple answers, right? Like what's 2 + 2, what's, questions like that. Like certain, for example, I'm on my way to Valley Center for the Blind right now to start work, right? How did I find Valley Center for the Blind? Oddly enough, it started with a simple question. I Googled, where can I get a blind cane? Or where can I get a white cane? I can't remember which term I used. It's been quite a while now. But that's literally the question I put in the search box to ask Google. Valley Center for the Blind popped up. It made sense for me to reach out and call. Then I asked the question, how can I get a white cane? Oh, well, it's not just that easy. We have to make you an appointment. You have to talk to a case manager, etc., etc., etc. Those questions led me into many, many more questions, not only about the white cane, but just about sight loss in general. It took me down a path of learning O&M training. It taught me how to use the computer better, be more efficient on my cell phone. I even started learning some Braille at one point. So those few simple questions actually led me into being a more efficient blind individual, right? So, and now look at me today. My mission is to help others get those same answers. So, let me rephrase that. That whole process, right? Me asking those specific questions led me into getting the answers that made me a more efficient blind person. It brought me out of depression and has led me down the path to where I'm trying to give that back to others. So now I'm not the one asking the questions per se. I'm actually giving the answers and informing those who are seeking them. And that also led me down this path to do this channel, to do the Blind Jedi Vlogs. Because just not asking the question for me has been enough. What about creating the question? And that's what I'm going to talk about next. I have a question for you. how do you get somebody to ask a question that they're not necessarily prepared to ask or understand the answer of? How do you get someone to ask you a question that you so badly want them to ask you, so you have the opportunity to explain to them what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it? And trust me, I know I gotta better explain myself, and I'm about to. All right, obviously, I'm here on lunch at work, where I'm the outreach and educational specialist. My job is to find clients for Valley Center for the Blind. A lot of the times I will do table events where I have actual material on my table, brochures, glasses that will simulate different eye disease so I can explain to people the spectrum, right? I may have what we call some swag, some things to give away to entice somebody to come over so I can share with them information about Valley Center for the Blind. And these usually are particularly people with sight. People who may know somebody who has an eye condition or has bad vision and don't realize, like I did once upon a time in my life, even though I knew I had an eye condition, what legally blind was and how the spectrum is so vast and how there is a lot more opportunity out there that they even know by to get help, right? So that's a table event. Then there's often times where I'm actually going to specific places where there's going to be people that may or may not have low vision, who may or may not already be legally blind. And those ones are a little bit easier of a setting because these people are actually looking and wanting information on how to prepare and realize where they're at in their sight loss or what kind of services we provide to help them in their sight loss. So a lot of the questions we get them to ask, they're already seeking those answers. But you know, my mission here is to educate, advocate, motivate, and inspire others, right? And even though my agenda here is to really reach the masses, I want to reach people who are struggling through any type of loss or depression or they're seeking positivity. But I also want to be able to have the opportunity to both educate and advocate for those who suffer from blindness or low vision, right? So how do I get those types of people to recognize me out and entice them to ask me the question so I could provide the answer to help educate as well as advocate in my situation? Well, that's really the basis of the Blind Jedi Vlogs, right? This is the basis of the Blind Jedi Vlog. So the idea for me is when I'm vlogging, regardless if I'm walking to work, it has not yet happened. And I know, trust me, I know it's coming in that. And this is where I really got to lean on a couple of other topics that we covered in this series, which is kindness and patience. Because I'm going to tell you, most people that are going to see me walking down the street, through a theme park, in a national park, wherever it is that I may be, holding a video camera, talking to it, while walking with a white mobility cane, is about to set somebody off. Now, I'm hoping that they'll have the courtesy enough to approach me in a respectful manner and start asking me the questions that matter. Why? How? Right? How are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Are you really blind? Opening those doors for me to have that conversation, to be able to have that opportunity to educate them on the spectrum that we live in, right? For them to understand what blindness truly is. I mean, that's kind of the idea here for me, right? As well as spreading positivity to motivate and inspire others to go out and live their best life. But all of it has to come together. Questions are very powerful, whether you need to ask the question or whether you need to answer the question. You know, it's a great way to try, which we've talked about recently in the past here as well. You know, it's an endless fight sometimes, right? To really to make serious change, it has to be a consistent and constant effort, and it's going to come way after I'm gone. It's going to have to continue,
right? The next generation is going to have to continue the mission to continue to educate and advocate others to really get the word out there what the blind spectrum really is. But questions are the key. Whether we need to ask the questions ourselves to get the answers, to have the information ourselves, to have the knowledge ourselves, so when we're out there in the real world, out there dealing with the people that don't understand, out there with the people that are judging or saying things or thinking things that they should not be thinking, that we have the proper information and answers to give them. But again, it just doesn't come naturally all the time. I mean, I'm personally looking to entice them. Again, my story, my mission. I'm actually honestly trying to get them to ask me a question. I want them to challenge me. And this is going to help me in many ways, right? Number one, it's going to challenge my patience. It's going to challenge my kindness. It's going to challenge my ability to engage with others and give them proper information in order to educate and advocate for our community in the proper way. In a proper way where I'm being respectful, I'm showing kindness. I'm not showing, self-pity on myself or anger towards them because they don't understand or they don't get it, right? I really want to make a difference across the vast variety of different topics when it comes to my blindness, my happiness, my positivity, my quest to share that with others. There's a lot I'm trying to pack in, right? I want to showcase our abilities as low vision individuals, what we can still do, and not only how we do it, but that we still can. The idea is still out there, the stigma is still out there that we're not able to do a lot of things that, I'm going to be honest, we can. I've talked in this series about being able to troubleshoot. The answer might not be right there. We might have to dig, find, create different ways to do different things and then showcase that. We could troubleshoot. There's a lot of things that at first look, no pun intended, that we think we cannot do. But if we take the time, really put the effort in and trying to figure out ourselves, as well as do the research and ask the right people the right questions, we could figure out. And on the other end, right, arm ourselves with the information and the ability to put ourselves in situations for people to ask us the questions, to create those opportunities to share the information that we have on what, when, why, and how we do what we do. That is the general idea of what I'm trying to, one of the general ideas, right, for when it comes to educating and advocating for this channel. It's all about questions and answering questions. I got to ask the questions to get the information, and I got to put myself in situations to be asked questions so I can give the answers. Very complicated, can be very confusing. I'm probably making it more complicated than it needs to be. Something else I probably need to work on, but I think you guys get the idea of how powerful a question is, whether you're asking a question or you're receiving a question. And it's all about the answer and our response, the information we give and how we give it. With that being said, I want to just remind everybody once again, if this is your first time here and you like what you're listening to, you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you can be updated every time I drop a video. And if you've been here for a while and you're getting a lot out of this series, you're starting to feel a little bit of positive, I'm motivating you, I'm inspiring you, you're feeling a certain way, please force push that like button, leave me a comment, give me some ideas, share your thoughts with me. What can I do better? What do you need to hear? Encourage me. Let me know that I'm inspiring you. Let me know that I'm motivating you. Let me know that this is working, because I'm not going to stop until it does. I will figure it out. I might have to go ask some more questions and get some more answers so I can implement them here and make a difference. But I promise you, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to continue to fight for our community, for the livelihood of our communities, and people that just need the positivity in their life. That's what I'm here for. And you know what's next. Remember, stay one with the Force, and the Force will be with you always.